It's 1971. It's a Waldorf Astoria. 6 months later, we lose this amazing entertainer. So he knew that his mortality, he was sensing his mortality at this time. So we are seeing a man who knows that he's ill, who knows that any minute now, God can say, Louis, it's time to come home. What the audience will see is him talking into a microphone. He's writing his new book. And these are the things that he wants to put in his book. Louis Armstrong recorded everything.
Listen, the play Satchmo at the Waldorf is exactly what that statement says. It's Louis Armstrong, one of his last performances at the Waldorf Astoria in New York, that hotel. And what we do is we follow Louis, and Louis reveals his life story to us. It's a one-man show, but there are other characters, and Peter has to not only take on the persona of Louis Armstrong, but he also has to take on the persona of characters that were in Louis Armstrong's life, Satchmo's life. And two of those characters is his manager, Joe Glazer, who's a very famous manager during that time, the 50s and the 60s, for Black performers, and also Miles Davis. And so what you do is you see Peter craft the characters not only of Satchmo, but of these other two characters. The wonderful thing about show business is if you stick to it, the world becomes smaller and smaller, and you get to know people, and the people that you like, you get to feed that relationship. And we're very fortunate with Peter in that we fed our relationship. What's wonderful is when you see a talented actor craft a role. And that's exactly what Peter did. He knows who Armstrong was, but what we do is we peel away the layers of character through the text in what we do. And so we're finding these moments that I think that I can relate to as an actor. So the communication between Peter and myself is right on time, because when I go into a thing, sometimes you have to bring a person along when they're, when they're a novice or when they're young at theater or young at acting. But because Peter has been around for a while and he knows his talent, we have been able, which if you come and watch us on americanstage.org, you're going to see an actor at the height of his powers crafting this wonderful portrayal of Louis Armstrong.
The fact that that Louis Armstrong introduced the word cat to jazz, right? He introduced that word. This cat, that cat, this brother here, this cat, that cat can play. This cat, and that's now jazz musicians, that's their language. It's like Shakespeare to these guys. This is that cat, and that he coined that phrase. Scatting, right? That's another thing.
That was him 100%.
It was 100%. A lot of these Ella Fitzgerald learned. Bing Crosby learned that scatting, that stuff. Learned it from Satchmo.